Life was pretty straightforward for me as a college student. I attended classes, hung out with friends, and pulled the occasional all-nighter cramming for exams. But everything changed one rainy afternoon in the campus library. It started with a simple wish. I was late for a crucial lecture, and as I rushed through the corridors, my mind screamed, "If only I could turn back time!" I felt a strange sensation, like the world around me was vibrating. Suddenly, I was standing outside the lecture hall, a full 10 minutes before the class was due to start. Confused but intrigued, I couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary had just happened. Over the next few weeks, I began to experiment. Small things at first, reversing a spilled coffee, giving myself extra minutes during exams. It was exhilarating, like having a secret superpower. But it wasn't long before I realized the dangers of my newfound ability. One night, as I walked home from the library, I witnessed a mugging. Without thinking, I focused on the scene and reversed time. This time, I called the police before the mugging could take place, and the criminal was apprehended. The rush of adrenaline was intoxicating, but I knew I had to be careful. The power to manipulate time was not something to be taken lightly. My name is Alex, and I was an ordinary college student until I discovered I could manipulate time. Now, I must learn to control my abilities while balancing my studies and protecting the city from those who would exploit my powers. As the days passed, I became more adept at controlling time. I could rewind, fast forward, and even pause moments with increasing precision. But the more I used my powers, the more I realized how dangerous they could be in the wrong hands. I needed to keep my abilities a secret, but that became increasingly difficult when mysterious occurrences started happening around campus. One evening, as I studied in my dorm room, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find a tall, thin man in a dark suit. His eyes were sharp, almost predatory. "Good evening, Alex," he said, his voice smooth and cold. "My name is Mr. Blackwood. I know about your talents." My heart raced. How could he know? I had been so careful. "Who are you?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "I'm part of an organization that monitors and regulates individuals with special abilities," he explained. "We call ourselves the Continuum. We need people like you to maintain the balance of time. But there are others who would use such powers for their own gain. I'm here to offer you protection and guidance." The offer was tempting, but something about Mr. Blackwood didn't sit right with me. His presence felt oppressive, and I couldn't shake the feeling that the Continuum might have their own agenda. I decided to trust my instincts and declined his offer, vowing to protect my secret and my city on my own terms. Life became a delicate balancing act. I juggled classes, friendships, and the responsibility of wielding time manipulation. I used my powers sparingly, only intervening when necessary. Each day was a test of my resolve and my ethics. One night, as I patrolled the streets, I encountered a figure dressed in dark clothing, moving with a speed and agility that rivaled my own. He seemed to know exactly when and where I would be, anticipating my every move. It wasn't long before he cornered me in an alleyway. "You're not the only one with powers, Alex," he said, removing his hood to reveal a young man about my age. "My name is Daniel, and unlike you, I've embraced the potential of our abilities. Join me, and we can rule this city." I refused, knowing that his path led to chaos and tyranny. Our confrontation was intense, with time itself warping and bending around us as we clashed. In the end, I managed to outsmart him, using a quick rewind to anticipate his moves and subdue him. But Daniel's presence was a stark reminder that my powers came with great responsibility. There were others like us, and not all of them had noble intentions. As I stood over the unconscious figure of Daniel, I realized that my journey was just beginning. Back in my dorm room, I reflected on everything that had happened. I was no longer just Alex, the ordinary college student. I was a guardian of time, a protector of my city. The road ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and dangers, but I was ready to face them. With newfound determination, I resumed my studies, balancing my academic life with my duties as a time manipulator. Each day was a step forward, a chance to learn and grow. And as I looked out over the city, I knew that I was not alone. There were others like me, both allies and adversaries, and together we would shape the future. For now, though, I was content to take it one day at a time, embracing the extraordinary within the ordinary, and finding my place in the ever unfolding tapestry of time.